Rather than large, welcome back to Cossy's Arsenal podcast. My name is Cossy. We are back again this morning. It's a Tuesday, and we are just 4 days away from the Newcastle game. So, guys, like I said, games are going to be coming in thick and fast from November to December and January. But hang in there. I'll be letting you know whatever is happening around the club. This morning, we're going to be discussing a couple of reports. Renato Sanchez, again, back in the news. Gabriel Martinelli. Reports are indicating that Mikel Arteta actually dislikes and does not rate Gabriel Martinelli. Martinelli could leave Arsenal in January on loan, but there is also a possibility that he could actually leave Arsenal on a permanent deal. We will discuss that. Leno to Tottenham Hotspur. Of course, Arsenal have already started looking around for possible replacements of the German international. Leno to Spurs is one that actually really doesn't make any sense to me, but I knew he was going to leave at some point in time. We'll be discussing the likes of Sam Johnston, the likes of David Dreyer, and see who can actually replace Ban Leno as probably as backup goalkeeper to Ramsdale. The Napoli, we want two players from Napoli, Victor Osimehn and Lorenzo Insigne. Insigne's contract is actually running down, and Osimehn's contract is actually very strong. But we need a striker, and we want to get in someone to replace Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang and Alexander Lacazette. In the same line, Karim Adeyemi has been identified as the next Alexander Lacazette, as the next player that will join Arsenal to replace Alexander Lacazette. We'll be trying to dive into that, and Balogun will be moving out in January on a loan deal as well. So all that and more is coming up in the show. Make sure you smash a like on the video. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you have not yet, and if you've subscribed and you're not getting notifications, consider turning on the notification bell so that you can actually get all the stories that I upload on a daily basis. We are going to start with Renato Sanchez. Of course, yesterday he came out with a very big statement, and I talked about it, and I said this was a big revelation for AC Milan and for Arsenal as well. He came out and said that he is talking to his agent, and they know that there is interest from Arsenal and there is interest from AC Milan as well. However, at the moment, they are not yet actually, they have not made up their minds. They have not made decisions on where and whether they should leave Lille at the moment. Of course, AC Milan reportedly are putting their bid, are placing their bids for Renato Sanchez, and Arsenal are still waiting in the shadow to see what is actually going to happen. Is he going to join AC Milan? But we are very much interested. The player also would love to make a move to the Premier League. As far as I know, Little Sport are saying that the situation, the Arsenal have actually not yet, put in a bid for Renato Sanchez, is actually going to change very soon. We will be bidding very soon for Renato Sanchez. The big question there is: are we going to let Xhaka play in January, or actually are we going to go for another midfielder? Arsenal still again very confused. Is it going to be Xhaka that comes back and play throughout the end of the season, or are we actually going to get another midfielder that partners with Thomas Partey? His injury worries and level of fitness is still a very big question, and there is a very big question mark there. So probably let's wait and see what's going to happen with Renato Sanchez and obviously the big man himself, Granit Xhaka. If Xhaka comes back fit, I doubt Renato will come in January. But if Xhaka fails to meet the fitness levels, and I know this is what Arsenal are still waiting for, if Xhaka comes back, Renato doesn't come in. If Xhaka fails to get if Xhaka comes back, Renato doesn't come in. If Xhaka, comes back, Renato has to wait until the summer. It's talking about players that have to leave in the summer or in the January transfer window. Leno is another one. Now, Spurs are apparently looking for a long-term replacement of goalkeeper and captain Hugo Lloris at the moment, and so many names have actually been put on the list. Sam Johnston, West Brom, is one of them. Dean Henderson, Manchester United, is another, and of course, the big one now is Ban Leno. Now, Leno is really missing game time at Arsenal. We all know that. There's a very big gap. There's a huge gap, between Leno and Arsenal. His minds are no longer with the team. His minds are no longer with Arsenal Football Club. He wants to go. He wants to go somewhere where he can actually get game time. He wants to go somewhere where he can actually be very, very welcome. Now, the big question for me with Leno, should he join Tottenham Hotspur? Should we let Leno join Tottenham Hotspur? Yes, he wants to get a career. He wants to actually find a place where he's going to be first choice goalkeeper. That's never going to happen. Arsenal with Aaron Ramsdale putting in very good performances match day in and match day out. So the only option Leno has to do is to leave if he's actually going to be fighting for his place in the German national team. So Tottenham are interested in Ban Leno. Is it going to be Tottenham? Is it? Of course, they wanted him at Inter Milan. The deal failed to move to come through. Is it going to be Tottenham Hotspur that take Ban Leno? Arsenal have already started looking for alternatives to Leno. According to reports I've seen, David Raya back in the news, and of course Sam Johnston as well back in the news. Some of those players that I actually think are just a regurgitation of whenever we need a goalkeeper, whenever there is a goalkeeping situation, David Raya is there. Sam Johnston is there. But of course, I'll take Sam Johnston. I'll take David Raya. They're decent goalkeepers. And for anything to be a backup goalkeeper at Arsenal, I wouldn't actually, I wouldn't mind. I'll take David Raya. I'll take Sam Johnston as a backup goalkeeper to Aaron Ramsdale. But anyway, Leno leaving in January. I think if he finds if he finds the right move, I don't think the club will actually stand in his way. But if first to find the right move, then I feel like he will actually leave in the summer. Players actually talking about players that could leave in the summer on a permanent deal is Gabriel Martinelli. Now Martinelli, there are stories that are actually claiming that Mikel Arteta does not rate the player. There are actually stories that are actually saying that Martinelli would love to leave the club on a permanent basis. It's a shame. It's a shambles. I saw this coming. I've talked about it all the time. That Gabriel Martinelli needs playing time. He needs to be involved a little bit more. I don't know why Mikel Arteta doesn't make substitutes, and when he makes them, he actually brings on players that are actually very, very irrelevant. So for me, if Martinelli deserves anything in this time, yes, he deserves game time. But if he decides to leave, I cannot be mad. I cannot be disappointed. I feel like the player sees that there is no future with him at Arsenal Football Club. Of course, the clubs that are interested, are very many, but I do not want to listen to that. I don't even want to talk about it. The idea of Gabriel Martinelli leaving Arsenal is suffocating, absolutely suffocating. So Martinelli could leave in January and also could leave, in the summer on a permanent deal if Arsenal do not actually improve on his game time. Same as Balogun. Balogun wants to go out and loan just for January to get more game time, and probably a long-term loan deal in the summer could actually do him a world of good. For Balogun, I got no problems. I got no issues there. We can let him go. It is fine. For Martinelli, I don't see why we actually need to let him go out for a loan deal. Now, Alexander Lacazette is one of the players that are actually going to leave Arsenal in the summer, and Karim Adeyemi, like I said yesterday, has been identified as the potential replacement of Alexander Lacazette. Adeyemi at the moment is still a very, very young player, rated highly, £35 million. That is the money Arsenal will have to pay if they want the services of the young German player. But the truth is, Arsenal will face a lot of competition from Bayern, from Dortmund, and from from a couple of other clubs if we want to get Karim Adeyemi. At the moment, Arsenal are still looking here and there to find a possible replacement of Alexander Lacazette, probably striker, probably support striker, probably number 10. Anyone that actually fits that profile would do. But Karim Adeyemi's name again, they're fronted as one of those players that actually could replace Alexander Lacazette. And a duo from Napoli as well are being targeted to replace the duo between Alexander Lacazette and my man Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. Lorenzo Insigne, one of them, another player that has actually been linked with Arsenal all the time throughout the years. Almost it's now a decade that we've been linked with Lorenzo Insigne ever since he broke through the scenes under Arsene Wenger, when we were still actually under Arsene Wenger. Arsene Wenger wanting him to join Arsenal, and then the deal actually didn't fall through. So wanted now again, Lorenzo Insigne, 29. Napoli do not want to lose him, but they do not want to actually pay him lots of money. They're actually saying if they're going to keep him, they'll have to cut his salary by half. The player doesn't agree, doesn't agree with that, and probably that could actually lead him to leaving the club. And then of course Victor Osimehn, the other player that Napoli have, very interesting, very entertaining, very good striker. Arsenal looking for a striker. Probably Victor Osimehn could be the man that Arsenal go for. So that's the update this early morning. Make sure you smash a like on the video and subscribe, and I'll speak to you very soon.